Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about behind the scenes for a movie I did with Sammo Hung in Hong Kong called Shanghai Express. It was also titled Millionaires Express. So either one. So this movie came about right after I finished Yes, Madam. Yes, Madam became a big hit, and immediately Golden Harvest signed me up to a 3-picture deal, and we were going to do Shanghai Express. So I went back home. I came home for about, I think maybe I had 3 weeks in between. So I was training really hard. I really wanted to be in the best shape possible for this film. And that's when I blew out my anterior cruciate ligament, when I did the jumping hook kick and landed and blew it out. So I'm not telling anybody, I'm like, I'm just going to fake it or do whatever I can. So I get there, and this is the first time I meet Richard Norton. Okay, it's the first film we've done together. And, we're talking and we're bonding because we're the only two that can speak English. So I said, Richard, I said, I blew up my knee. I don't know if I'm going to be able to kick. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, I just came back from the Philippines and I got cut by a bush and it got infected and his leg blew up. And he had to get it drained 3 times. So he goes, I can't kick on that leg. And we're like going, oh my God, his two stars aren't going to be able to fight. So that's the beginning. That's the beginning of it. Then we meet Wong Jung Lee. And Wong Jung Lee comes over to us and he's like going, oh, hi. And we didn't know who he was at that time. And then him and Richard started getting into a little bit of a male banter. And he'd go, Richard, can you do a jumping side kick? Yeah, I could do a jumping side kick. Well, I could do a jumping side kick and a jumping inside crescent. And then they kept going on and on until finally Richard's like, well, I could do a double jumping flying side kick in the air, spin around 3 times, do a front kick, do a split in the air, and then land, right? And it was funny, like just watching the two males bantering off and off. So I'm really excited about doing this film with Sammo. Now, everybody told me, oh my God, I feel sorry for you because Sammo hits really hard. He's big and he hits strong and none of the stunt people like fighting with him. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm in for it. He hits hard and I got a bummed leg. So we go to do our first scene together. And at this point, I kind of tell them that my leg is hurting, but no problem. I could just deal with it. And we're doing this scene where it's in a hotel room. It's a really, really great scene. This is one of the scenes Sylvester Stallone showed his stunt people and said, how did she do this? And it's where I do 3 kicks, 1, 2, 3 up in the air and come down. Well, I was wired on that. And they're geniuses. They know how to take that wire out. So we're doing that scene and he's hitting me hard, but I'm going, okay, I could take this. Not too bad. So then I'm fighting a bunch of guys. So now, if you look at the Yes, Madam, I told you a little story about how the guy, when I was fighting everybody with the swords, he hit me in the nose with the sword. Well, now I'm fighting all these guys and I have to do a spinning kick to one of the stuntmen. And he kept coming in close. So I could do my distance. I said, when I kick, this is where my foot's coming. And he'd come in too close and I didn't want to hit him, so I'd kick high. And Sammo he was up in the balcony and he would yell, cut, no, too far. So I tell the stunt guy, I says, come in, don't come in so close, I'll hit you. He comes in close again. So I go over his head. Sammo, oh, no. And he's getting angry. And I'm like, now I'm getting nervous. The guy comes in again. I'm going to hit him. I can't hit him. I go up high. And, you're doing a spinning 360-degree kick. So you really can't control that. Once you start and you spin really fast, it's going. So Sammo is like yelling. And so now I'm so nervous. And I go to the stunt guy. I said, I did the kick really slow. I held my foot out. I said, this is where my foot is going to be. If you come in, I'm going to hit you. So Sammo goes, action. He comes in, boom, whack him right in the head. He came in and he's like almost passed out on the floor. And now I'm like feeling so bad because I knew I was going to hit him. But, Sammo was yelling at me. It's my second film. I don't know what to do. And someone comes over to me and says, yeah, Sammo just lost like $300,000 gambling the other day. That's why he's mad. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So Sammo goes, great, loved it. Let's move on. And so we're going on the scene, right? He's not even caring about the stunt guy. So I'm feeling so bad. I'm like almost crying. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, Cynthia, remember when you were doing Yes, Madam, and the guy hit you in the nose with the sword? I said, yeah. He goes, that was the guy. So I guess he kind of got a little payback a little bit. Now, one of the funniest scenes ever, and this pretty much most of it was cut out of the scene. It's Richard Norton and I, and 300 stunt guys are going to be riding horses coming in. So they said, all right, well, we're going to practice the day before because these are all retired racing horses and they're not really used to having people ride them. And we just want you to get comfortable. So we go in there and I have the biggest horse out of everybody. I'm like, are you kidding me? Look at my size. Richard's got a small horse. I got a huge horse. So they put me on the horse. The minute they put me on, he starts bucking up, like going crazy. Now, I'm not really a horse rider, so I don't know. I'm like hanging on for dear life, right? So they go, oh, bring her down. Yeah, that horse is too wild. We'll give her another horse. So I waited all day while everybody's practicing, and I don't get to do it. And my horse doesn't come. So they say, okay, the next day we'll have your horse here. So now I'm thinking, oh, I haven't practiced. I don't know what my horse is like. And Sammo comes up to me, because Sammo did speak English. And he said, whatever you do on this scene, do not fall off. Because if you fall off the horse, you're going to get trampled on by 100 horses coming behind you. So I'm thinking, oh no. So my horse comes and it's smaller. And I'm like, this is great. So now we all got to line up, the main people in one line. And my horse doesn't want to get in between the two big horses because they're bigger and he's smaller. And Sam's going, Cynthia, get in there. And I'm like, come on, go in. And the horse started kicking him. And I was like, oh my gosh. So now I'm at the other extreme, from the real tough, mean one to the shy, timid one. So we finally get in line. And I remember Richard Norton and I were sitting there and the camera is going to pan at all our faces. So he does. And Sammo goes to Richard, acting, when the camera's on your face. And Richard looks at me like, what? I'm sitting on a horse. Am I supposed to go, like doing all like Hong Kong reactions. So then Sammo goes, all right, we're going to have a run through. We're going to have the horses. They had like about 50 fans, big industrial fans, going along one side, going along the other side. And they said, what we want is we're going to throw all this sand. So it's going to be all sandy, and you guys are going to ride through the sand. So we're going, okay. So Sammo goes, remember, do not fall off your horse because you're going to get trampled on. So I'm thinking, okay, all right. So, my eyes are really sensitive. They're sensitive to the light because they're so blue. I couldn't wear contacts because I couldn't keep anything in my eye. So you get the point. Nothing is good in my eye. So all of a sudden, we're driving on these horses, action, and there's all the sand, and we go through it. Now we're going through a sandstorm. Boom. It was like this. It was like someone took a pile of sand in their hands and threw it in your eyes. So now I can't see. And I'm like on the horse. Now, when your eyes are closed, your equilibrium is way off. And I'm bouncing all around, my eyes closed, thinking, stay on the horse, don't fall off. Now, the horses got sand in their eyes too. So the horses are all going crazy. So when we all get out through the sand, everybody's in different formation. Nobody even did the same formation. One of the stunt guy fell off. He got trampled. He got hurt because nobody could see what was going on. So Sammo says, oh, that's not going to work, right? So all of us are trying to get the sand out of our eyes. And then he used like about 5 fans. So there's a little bit of a poof coming through, and you see us come through. So the backstory for that is, just remember, there was a big sandstorm. We filmed that all day long. We filmed that about 13 hours, that whole scene. And when you look at it in the movie, it's like 10 seconds. So that was very funny. Now, Shanghai Express had a lot of actors in it. That was Sammo's thing. It was going to be for Chinese New Year. Now, Chinese New Year, every director comes out with the best movie ever. So, this is my second movie, so I really don't know too much about filming. I do know, though, cover up so I could put pads in. I've learned it from Yes, Madam. Well, they go, all right, well, you and Richard are cavalry from America. And we're like, or Confederates. And we're like, what? Okay, whatever. So they bring us these clothes. So Sammo goes to me. It's winter time here. Now we're filming in Hong Kong, midsummer, right? Where you can't, the sweat, you're just sweating so bad. And he goes, so you need to wear three things of clothes, 3 shirts, 2 pair of pants. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I put them on and I'm like to Richard going, oh, I feel like fat. I look really fat.
Hold up. It got stuck. Hold up. Audio got stuck. Just say,
Okay.
go back to, I
Yeah.
felt really fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt really fat with all these clothing on. And I said to Richard, I said, Richard, I said, and they were heavy. They were heavy because it was supposed to be winter where they were wool. And Richard kept sweating and like they didn't have other clothes for us. So we had to wear the wet clothes. And how they dried it on takes is they've got a hair dryer and they were drying Richard's clothes off. And then thank God we didn't need a double, because if you had a double, you had to actually give them your clothes to wear. And I remember when I was shooting, Lady Reporter, which you could check out here as well. There's a scene where I have a dress on with stockings. Well, I did have a double, and they're like, well, we didn't get an extra pair of stockings, so we want him to wear yours. And I was like, no way. He's not putting stockings on, and then I'm going to put those on. I said, you have to go find another pair. So eventually they did find another pair. But anyway, realized neither Richard or I realized this, that, hey, who knows if we have 3 shirts and 2 pair of pants on? We can have nothing under that. And that's like the lesson we've learned. You learn all this stuff when you're making movies. So on this movie, Sammo built a whole set. And he was a little stressed out because, usually, like I said, our Hong Kong movies took like 5.5 to 8.5 months to shoot. Well, he's on a time crunch. He's only got like, I think, a month to get this all shot. And that's outrageous for filming in Hong Kong. So he didn't want anybody to go home. He wanted you to stay there 24 hours. They had it was like a fake, like hotel or something like that. So they had beds. You could go sleep on that. You could go sleep on that. And I remember I was so exhausted. I had my eyes closed, and a little wardrobe person would come up and poke me, and she'd say, keep your eyes open. You'll have bags under your eyes. Don't fall asleep. And I'm like, I don't care what I look like on film. I'm so tired. And like we would shoot maybe 2.5 days straight. And then someone would say, okay, you can go home to, shower for a couple hours. And there's no showers. And now all these people, remember 300 stuntmen. It was a big scene. There's no bathrooms. There are no porta potties. Where do you go? You see those empty buildings there? They're just shells. That means there's nothing in there to film. Just go in there. You'd have to go in there and you'd be sliding all over, and it'd be disgusting all over your feet. But then I learned, the Chinese said, well, hey, if you step in something, it's good luck. So don't worry, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So that's a little bit kind of behind the scenes of Shanghai Express. Great movie, a lot of people. Richard and I pulled it off. Actually, from that point on, I pulled every movie off because even to this day, my anterior cruciate ligament is still a little bit wiggy, so a little better than that time, because when it first happens, it like hurts like heck. But very funny movie, Shanghai Express or Millionaire Express. So if you get a chance, check out the movie. I think you can look at Amazon Prime. They're starting to put some of my movies on there, so you can check that out. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. if you want, you can go to my new website. It's cynthiarothrock.com. And I have a lot of things in the store. I know a lot of us are home these days. And I have private lessons, virtual private lessons, some new pictures, and some videos. So that's the website right there in the corner. So check it out if you get a chance. And thank you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or tell your friends. And it was, like always, great to chat with you and reminisce about the good old days in Hong Kong. So stay safe, take care, God bless.
Hi, this is Cynthia Rothrock. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if you like the videos, please put a like on it and refer it to your friends.